So I'm Jessica.
I'm Samuel.
I'm Wang, and we're getting started on the topic one.
So we're going to discuss about the factors of building a sustainable community. I think first very important thing is like the hardware of the community, which is like the physical infrastructure and then the environment. The major example is Sao Paulo, like the city banned almost like 15,000 billboards of outdoor advertising in order to build like a clean environment and to build like a beautiful environment for citizens. So it is actually very important because the community visual environment can actually impact the well-being of the community.
Yeah, I see your point. Like, I have another aspect about economic. It's just like what you say. But I have another like idea. Is like there need to be some local brands. Like in Shenzhen, you have Tencent, you have BYD, and you also have Huawei. Like these local brands like enhance the overall GDP of the distance and the locals, right? So like this and I want to say that this like brands cannot be focused on one simple industry because they have be like spread it into various of like titles. Just like giving an example is like Las Vegas, they are like putting focus on gambling, right? It doesn't mean that they're not like a success city, but like they're only focused on that thing. So you can see that overall the city is all about gambling instead of other industries.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, and you have just talked about the infrastructure, and you have talked about the gambling industry and some economic aspects. And I think I can add on the ideas about the infrastructure because by removing the outdoor advertising, I think it is a good point to make about the atmosphere in the city will become cleaner so that people will think they will feel more pleasant when they see less advertising like neon lights in Hong Kong, and it is a form of good scenery. However, it's not it might make some problem because for some elderly and some people with disabilities, it is not convenient for them to like access to those advertising on the internet. Otherwise, they may just like become live out from the society and they can catch up the trend.
Right, that's true. So maybe we should move to the point of the digital and technological access of a community. Well, in the examples, we found out that Thailand use like free citywide Wi-Fi, and this type of Wi-Fi is actually like they're making it as like a public good instead of like personal good. So you can access Wi-Fi freely. So maybe every citizens can now get access to information online with this kind of free Wi-Fi. So maybe this is also very important for like a sustainable community.
Yeah, so I think we can expand instead of just looking at the test that you told us. Like you said, like the public service, right? The 5Gs, and like I do want to mention about that the public facilities. Like if you want to have a like sustainable urban city, you have to have parks, right? Sports centers, just like Hong Kong. So like citizens, when they want to like exercise their bodies or want to build the muscles, so they can went there. And also, I want to say that if a city want to be sustainable, there should be schools, there should be hospitals, because like human body's health is the most important thing in nowadays life. If you have a disease and you don't have a 3+ hospital in the city, then you cannot like cure your disease. And also like education is more important because some most famous like urban cities like New York, they have their like New York University. Hong Kong, we have Hong Kong University and etc. So these points are very important.
Yeah, a sustainable urban community should have really convenient and accessible infrastructure and some like community services. So I think that And one hour, I think cycle including the education, healthcare systems, and some recreational infrastructure would be a good urban planning for every like individuals to live in that area.
So I see your point, and I have another point to like share with you guys. I think there's another aspect of like transportation, right? If you want to travel around a success and sustainable urban city, then maybe you don't have enough money to like buy a car for yourself. So you need like buses, taxis, and like subways to ensure that you can travel around the city wherever you want, right? Also, like we can let residents like be more confident by like improving this kind of.
Why do you think like both improving infrastructures and building transportations face some of the challenges of like the economical aspect, especially you have to fund them, and then also like for I don't think some of the plans are that sustainable. Well, for example, like for Doha's outdoor air conditioning, it like requires massive energy consumption, which makes it less unsustainable. So it is important to see like which part of the city plans that should be funded, and which part of the plan, which part of the city plan, and which part of the city infrastructures that maybe you shouldn't waste money and energy on it. But I think I agree on your point, and I also think that social cohesion and cultural identity of a community is also very important, since it brings brings the citizens together. For example, in Jamaica, they produce this kind of like paintings outdoors, and these paintings really increase the community spirit by expressing the local cultures, and it gradually became the pride and the proud like of citizens in Jamaica. So I do think this is also very important for a sustainable community.
I see your point that the outdoor street art in Jamaica can bring people together by like sharing the stories from everyone, and then they record them by making the mural on the like on every wall they can see, so that it can like enhance the social connectivity. And free Wi-Fi in the Estonia can help to bring people together without the like distance barrier or other problems due to lack of internet. And I think what you have just said is one of the challenge about how to we trade off between the climate risk and about the resource scarcity, because it is hard to like put all the resources in improving the climate or like promote the economic development. So it is like we need to make more research and some experiment on how to make it become effective.
Yeah, I see your point, and like you mentioned before, like the climate problem, right? You don't want to like waste energy and money, like for the economic aspect about like building air conditioner in a public area, and I totally agree with you. And I do think that it's a challenge, right? Because like although like you build the air conditioner for public because like that place is a desert, but it wastes a lot of money, and we do want to like our final purpose is to like decrease the air pollution, but instead of that you're using a lot of energy and producing a huge amount of carbohydrate. And like you mentioned, like the social connectivity, right? Like I think a sustainable city should be inclusiveness, right? So it should be welcome. It should welcome people from all over the world. Like everyone shares the same opportunity to create their own jobs and create their own career and finding their jobs, right? Like so therefore I want to mention is like Donald Trump in America has set a policy that richer people only have to pay fewer taxes instead of high taxes for poor, right? So a sustainable city should not like copy their policy, so they should set up policies like they're sharing the same opportunities.
Yeah, so maybe we should agree on the point that it is important to build some important and convenient infrastructures and also provide some convenient economical policies. But we do have to do some specific research on it in case that it does not harm the environment or harm other citizens' rights.
I see your points that the government, like the fundings or subsidy provided by the government is also a good factor to promote like how to form a sustainable urban community, because researchers always like lack of money to go deep into their research. So I think another factor for building a successful and sustainable urban community is to like balance the environmental aspects, social aspects, and the economic aspects by like some tryouts from the community services. For example, some NGO like the non-profitable organization, they can make some trials on how to bring peoples together instead of just leave the job for the government to do. For example, some are volunteering works and they will try to like do the recycle things and clean up the beach or something, and those can actually improve the or reduce the like addressing the impact of climate change and bring peoples together by doing the same thing to help the society.
So like you mentioned three aspects, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there should be a supervise by government, right? So if you want to have a sustainable city, you must have a transparent government. Like they share all the information and what they did on a website that citizens can just view on the website and know what the government has just did. And I also want to mention challenge. Like city always expand for a high technology because it is the like current trend, right? So they have just ignored the importance of landfills that to grow crops or grow food for like the consumption for humans. So like many landfills for growing crops will be replaced by building like high technology companies. So that will lead to urban sprawl, like the unbalance between develop and the social life.